everybody, and welcome. This is Enrico from Conductive Music, bringing to you this taster about our musical video game online school. We hope you had a great summer, as much as it was possible to have one, and that you're getting ready for the next episode of this. It might be the first time that you join us, which is absolutely fine, or perhaps you have already taken our previous course. In that case, welcome back, guys. I'll tell you a little bit of what's gonna happen. In case you're not from the UK, in about 10 days there's gonna be some sort of a school holiday, which we call the half term, where all the schools stop and we start doing some activities. So we designed 3 courses which are gonna be very, very interesting. The main title of this school is the Musical Video Game Online School. So we're gonna use a online platform called MakeCode, which allows you to put together code by bringing these colorful boxes, actually called blocks, together. And as you line them up one after the other, you can create pretty cool games. The interesting part is that there are 8 different languages on this website, which are all used for any other machine. Sorry, I've got. Thank you. Sorry, guys, it's a new system, so we're just trying to put everything together. What I was trying to say is that we've got 8 different streams in the website, and we can use them. Oh, hello. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Just gonna bring up the volume. Is that any better? I hope it's better. Sorry about the delay, guys. We're gonna jump right in. It's a completely new system, so it's good to test. Remember, the musical video game school is gonna start on Monday 26th, go all the way up to the 30th, and have 4 courses every day. The musical video game school level 1, which we repeat twice because there's lots of you. The level 2, sorry, that's the level 2, which starts. Oh, fantastic! Thank you. And then we've also designed one about the microbit. This is a little card which can be programmed with a very similar language and can be transformed into a fantastic musical instrument. So if you're interested, we're gonna do another live stream about that and try and show you what are the potentialities of this. So let's try and make some code today, because I wanted to show you how to make, in case this is the first time you join us, how to make a little video game. Let's see. Alright, so first of all, we mentioned that our game here, our platform is the MakeCode platform, and the MakeCode here can be just accessed through pretty much any device that you've got on a browser, we suggest Chrome if you can, or Microsoft Edge. You can use a tablet, you can even use the phone, obviously, but it's gonna be a little bit small, okay? So be careful if you use the phone only. If you're preparing for our school, and again, if it is possible, we would suggest that you use an external screen. That would be fabulous, because in that case you can have the Zoom running on one screen, and then you can work on the other one. For the parents that are listening, in terms of safeguarding, guys, we keep the cameras and microphone of our students always off. That is to make sure that everybody is safe. But obviously, you can ask as many questions as you like on the chat. That's the fun part, okay? All of these sessions will be recorded, but only for safeguarding purposes, so they're not gonna be disclosed with anybody unless there are some legal implications, of course. And after this, or actually in between, we are recording the tutorial videos. So comes January, you will be able to access our membership platform, which is gonna have even more games that you can work on. So I mentioned at the beginning the microbit. This is the platform that we're going to use to code. The eWearables platform here, called the Circuit Playground, is for interactive clothes, like those clothes that light up, that they make sound. Is something pretty awesome. I don't think I need to explain what Minecraft is, but here you can create a mod. You can make the Legos move, use this cute robot interface, and let's go into this Microsoft Arcade. For those of you that joined us in the past, you're probably already familiar with it, but just in case, I can click on New Project, and let's see. Today we're gonna do the Ants Fugue. In the house where we are staying at the moment, we have had a little ants invasion. So obviously they're looking for food as well, but in terms of a video game, we wanted to make something a little bit different. So, you know, those games where you are in the middle of the screen, you turn around and you shoot all the aliens coming at you or something like that. Well, we're gonna do a little bit of a similar thing using the ants and placing a little bit of explosives or poison or whatever you like around our screen. And every time there is one of these interactions, we'll make some sound appear. So let's see where we can start from. First of all, on the left-hand side, you've got your video game. So this is pretty much like a old-fashioned Game Boy, really. Just in case you're curious, you do not need any device to do this school. You can do everything on the browser, okay? But if you're interested and you want to know more, when you go to this website and click on these three dots, there is a selection of hardware that you can use. We're not sponsored by these companies, so we're not particularly keen on one or the other. If you want to purchase one, go for it. But again, they are not necessary for the school. I don't use them. It's a cool toy if you want, but not necessary. Here, you've got the menu with all of the things that are part of the coding platform. And then on the right-hand side, we've got the coding area. That's where all the code lives. So let's get started. First of all, obviously, we want to create a scene. So I'm going to create a tile map here. And just going to go a bit quick. Obviously, during the school, we are going to use... sorry, we're going to go much slower, but the reason why I changed this to 10 by 8 is because the size of the screen itself is 10 tiles by 8 tiles. In other words, 160 pixels horizontally and 120 vertically. I'm gonna make just a random background using the dungeon thing. So these tiles, in case it's the first time you join us, these tiles, you can use the pre-made ones like I'm doing, and this is just for sake of speed, yeah? Normally you would want to create your own version, make it more beautiful, but don't worry about it for now, okay? Once again, guys, if you want to follow this stuff, feel free to click on the stream and rewind if you lose a step or two. It's not a problem. If instead you're just here for the ride, just follow along as I do the code, and feel free to comment on the streams. Thank you, Claire, for your comments. I am also checking the stream on Facebook, so let me know if anything, if you're interested, if you have any questions, okay? Right, I'm almost done with the the tiles. There we go. I should talk less and draw more, I guess. There we go, almost there. So this is where our character is going to be, and is going to run around chased by ants. Okay, so let's add one more tile, guys, and we're finished. There we go, perfect. So here is our tile map, which will show up real quick on the screen. There you go. This is the environment. By the way, if you want to play this on the tablet, you can just use your fingers, obviously, and move this to control your character and press A and B. If instead you are on a computer or laptop, you can use the keyboard arrows, and then buttons A and B are the keys Z and X. Okay, Z and X. This is how you can use it. In case you forget, just click on the keyboard here and it tells you whatever it is. Right, let's create a character. Okay, and the character is gonna be the, let's say, okay, rename it, and Hero. Okay. Again, I'm just gonna grab one at random. Today, what am I gonna be? Oh, this little fella here. And we want to be able to move around. So you see here, this is called Ant Hero. I'm gonna change it. So if I go full screen, I should be able to move around. There we go. Okay, you see on the left hand side is the arrows that are being clicked. All right, so this is it, job done. Now what we want to do is create the enemies. So we want the computer to spawn a new enemy every given amount of time. So on game, you can grab this game update. It is very useful because it allows me to choose how often this happens. And ms here, in case you didn't know, is milliseconds, so it means thousandths of a second. So I can use maybe once every second. What happens? I need to create one sprite. Okay, so one sprite of type enemy, which is gonna be something different. Let me call it ant. There we go. And this one, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to draw because there's nothing near that shape and it's gonna be terrible. I apologize. I'm gonna try my best here and see what comes out. So here it is, kind of. Let me just move these two squares. There we go, perfect. I guess ants should have 6 legs, right? So let's try it. And a 1 and a 2. Actually, there we go. And a 3 and a 4, 5, and finally 6, give or take. Gonna make it a little bit nicer here. Okay, that should do it, more or less. Obviously, my colleague Yu is the one who will be teaching you how to draw these things properly. I'm just gonna pretend that this is an acceptable drawing of an ant. Okay, so here we go. And so we spawn it, right? And where do we spawn it? Well, we want to spawn it on top of a random tile of a certain type. So I'm gonna place my sprite on top of random, and it's called an ant. I don't know if you noticed at the end of the drawing, I just placed these plain tiles, and that's where the ants will be coming from. Okay, so it's gonna select a random one of those tiles and place it from there. We want these ones to come towards us, so we can just a second. There we go, that's the block. Set my enemy to follow my sprite. Here we go, let me place it in. It's gonna be ant that follows ant hero. And let's see what happens. Press play. Woo! They're a little bit quick. So I'm gonna slow them down. Instead of speed 100, I'm gonna give them speed 20. So as I relaunch the game and move around, you'll see that they are coming towards me. All right. So at the moment I can't do anything. This is scary already. Okay, fair enough. It's not bad, huh? Cool. I should do the trick. All right. Now what we want to do is every time we press a key, we want to create a bullet to defend ourselves. Now there is one little issue here. Aiming at these ants is not as easy as you think it might be, because to aim we would need to be able to turn around 360 degrees, store our direction in what we call a variable, and then be able to shoot towards that direction. But for a 10 minutes challenge, that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna do a little different thing. We're just basically gonna lay down some traps. All right, so I'm gonna use a little trick here. I'm gonna use a sprite, and I'm gonna use this block here, which is set projectile from my sprite. It's a bit of weird projectile really, because it's not moving, so it's a bit of a fake projectile. I'm gonna make it quite small, maybe a 2x6, I guess. That should do the trick. Gonna make something like red for scariness. There we go, maybe white tip, I guess, something like that. Let's put some yellow stuff. Yeah, okay, something like that. Minecrafty, let's say. So every time we press it, see what happens if I do it now. You see, it shoots, and it only shoots in one direction, right? So it's not really what I'm looking for. I want it to basically stay where I put it. So it's gonna be a 0-0 in terms of velocity here. Once again, guys, once you follow our school, don't worry, we're not gonna go that fast. Obviously, we're gonna explain everything in detail, all right? So you see now, I can go around and make it drop some poison, all right? So let's see what happens. I need to create something that says when the ant goes on top of the poison, the ant disappears. So here it is, overlap. So when the sprite of kind, actually, yeah, I set it up as enemy. When the sprite of kind enemy overlaps with a projectile, which is the poison that we just created, we want to, well, first of all, destroy the ant. Okay, nothing against the ants, guys. This is just a video game, right? With a little bit of a dramatic effect, so a spray effect of about 100 milliseconds. And also, I want to destroy the poison, otherwise the poison itself is gonna stay there forever. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna go and reload this thing. And there we go. They're going, boom. You see that? They're trying to chase me. And if I place myself between the poison and them, they die. Okay. And let's carry on. Obviously, it's a game, so we want to be able to keep track of points. So it's quite easy, actually. It's quite nice. You can go to info, grab a change score by 1, and here we go. Every time I kill one, you see on the top right of my screen, it's getting there. Some of you must be thinking, look, it's a video game, it's a musical video game school. And yes, you're absolutely right. Don't worry, we're coming to the sounds in a minute. Okay, so the dynamics are working, but it's a bit too easy at the moment. I wanted to slow down a bit. In other words, not let me place too much poison. So there's an extension here that's called timer. And there you go. And it just makes me wait a given amount of time before I shoot again. So I can go to timer. At most every 500 milliseconds. There we go. If you check again the game, I'm going to try and spam that button, but it's not going to let me do that much. You see? You see I'm pressing so much, but it's only let me place just one every half a second, actually. Alright, so the difficulty is increasing. So I cannot just blast through all these ammo. I need to be careful of where I place them. Alright, now we've got a little bit of difficulty. We have a point counter and we have the ants. Obviously, you're gonna wanna have some health bar. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But before we do so, I want to create a little bit of a musical interaction, okay? So this is how we do it. First of all, I would like to set up a list of nodes. So under arrays is a list. And I'm gonna call it my scale. This is my scale. There we go. I wanna put some notes inside. So I'm gonna go to music and put in this. 1, 2. Let's start simple. Let's start with 5 notes, which I'm sure if you followed our lessons before, you're familiar with. It's a minor pentatonic, isn't it? Well, not necessarily minor, it's a pentatonic. And to change the notes, all you have to do is go inside and click. And can I just check with my colleague Yui if these sounds are coming through on the stream? Because again, guys, this is a brand new system, so today is a massive testing thing for us. Let's see. Hopefully this sound is coming through. Now, yeah, lovely to hear. Well done. Thank you very much, Miss Yui. So we got these 5 notes. Okay. So what I want to do is every time an ant disappears, well, gets destroyed, I would like to hear a random note from there. So I'm gonna ask play tone and middle C. Okay. For half a beat. But I don't want it to play a middle C all the time. I want it to select at random one note from those that we have just set up. So grab a random thing from there. No problem. It's actually much easier than we're thinking. So we pick a random. Actually, sorry. We need to go to array, get value at. The array that we created is called scale. Once again, think of the array as a chest of drawers. Many drawers, you can open them, and they all have different content. Different content, yes, but of the same type. So in this case, many different notes. So we get value at 0. If I get value at 0, it means it always plays the first note. I want instead to be able to play a random number. So it's gonna be between 0 and however many notes we've got in the scale. So this is gonna play a note between 0 and the length of the array. The length of the array is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So sometimes it's gonna play 0, 1, 2, and 3, and 2, and 1, and 4, and so forth. So let's see. I'm gonna try and play some. You should start seeing some notes. Hearing some notes, sorry. Maybe it's a bit too difficult now. There's a lot of them and very few of me. Okay. Alright, so carrying on. I promised you a health bar. And now, on a previous game, it took me about 3 hours to figure out a effective and easy way to make a health bar. Luckily, there is now a status bar extension that you can install with just a click. And on your start, you can set up a status bar, which is health. Okay, I'm gonna place it just above. I'm gonna attach it, sorry, to my ant-hero. And perhaps we put a little bit of padding, so maybe 10 pixels. Let's see if it's good enough. Yeah, you see that green bar on top of my mouse? There we go, that should do the job. I'm gonna set up the colors. So green and red seems pretty stable, it should be okay. And that should be good. And then what we wanna do is when we get another collision, so when the ant touches us, we wanna lose a little bit of health and also get the ant to die, basically. So when the enemy touches the player, we destroy the enemy. Okay, so the sprite dies, again with a little bit of a dramatic effect, which is always more fun. Alright, and we also change our status bar by, what should we say, minus... Let's be kind, let's do -5, so we lose 5 health points. Let me go and see if that's true. Okay, you see that red bar is coming through? There we go, there we go. How are we doing with time? Okay, 22. I promised I will keep you here for only half an hour. And by the way, you will also find the link to this game on the Facebook and the YouTube comments about 5 minutes after the stream ends, okay? So don't worry, I will give it as well. So let's carry on with this first. What I like to do is every time we play this action, I want to store this note. Why? Because I want to create a melody, and when we die, I want to play that melody. Okay? I repeat, at the moment, every time an ant dies, we hear a note. Cool, perfect, that sounds good. But I would like that note to be stored somewhere, so we have a melody. And basically we play a game as an excuse to create our composition. And this is how we can do it. I'm gonna call this variable temporary note. So temp note. Sorry, I just did no problem. I'm gonna insert it here, and I'm gonna just steal that block that we did before. Then I'm gonna put it in temp note here. And the reason why I did this little exchange is because now I've got a temp node which I can store in another array. So let me create another array for you. And this is array set, shall we call it death loops, which is always cool, isn't it? Death loop. Death is just because I'm silly, and loop is a fragment of music that gets repeated many times. For example, you know that boots and cats and boots and cats and boots, that would be a loop. I'm gonna create it as an empty array, okay? And I need one more thing here, which is going to add value to temp node. No, excuse me. The death loop is gonna add the temp node to the death loop. By the way, guys, just in case you're wondering, this is an example from the level 2 school. So if you join us for the first lesson, it's gonna be much easier than this. Just wanted to give you a little bit of perspective on how far we can stretch it, because it's actually pretty cool. There's new blocks coming out every month or so we can always take the game further. So let me just talk you through what this does. When the ant goes on top of the poison, we destroy the ant with an animation, we destroy the poison, we find a note at random, we pick a note at random, we play it, and at the same time we store it to the death loop. So let's see if this is true. Let me just test it for you guys. Refresh the game. Let it. Woohoo! Okay. Cool. Sometimes we lose the note. There we go. Perfect. Seems to be working. Now, what I want to do is, when we die, I want it to be playing through this loop. Okay? So, how do we do that? Back in status bar, when it goes to 0, there we go. On the status bar, health in 0 status. Got 4 minutes left. We can do it. We go through the loop. So, it's for element value. This is a loop. And again, guys, don't worry if you don't understand these blocks. During the lessons, I'm gonna go through every single little detail. This is just a quick taster. This basically means for every item, for every value inside my death loop, play it. So we're gonna do play the melody. So play tone. What tone? Tone value. And then what happens when you finish the loop? Goodbye. Die. Okay, with a little animation, with the melt effect. All right. So basically, at this stage, the game works. If the ant touches us, we lose energy. We lose health. Sorry. If the ant touches the poison, the ant dies. And then we hear a note, and the same note gets stored into a loop. When then we lose the game, this loop is played one after the other, one note after the other, and then we are ready to die. So let me just make this a little bit quicker so I can place a bit more poison. And let's try. Let's see. All right. Play the game once again. And here we go. Gonna place her. Okay. Obviously, I've only placed how many? 5 notes. You can place as many as you like. That's the principle, no? So, okay, is it good enough? Maybe I think my character is ready to die. Okay, so let's go and there we go. Now, when my health bar reaches 0, you will hear the loop, and then you will see the game over. Okay, ready? It's about to finish the energy here. Almost there. I think one more. Did it make sense? I hope so. Guys, what to say? Well, first of all, thank you for joining us. Second, I'm going to paste the link to this game. Actually, you know what? I can do it right now on the chat so you can have access to it. I hope you'll enjoy this. And once again, you know, it's a very cool excuse to be able to create a game that lets you create a melody. Now, it's on YouTube. Ah, thank you, Gary, for the lovely comments. Sorry, I've just seen it. It's on the YouTube. We're gonna post it on Facebook as well. So if you want to play that game, it's ready to go. And you know what, guys? The best way to learn is always take a code that has been made by somebody, tweak it, make it your own version. So if you want to add more notes, just hit that plus button, and then it gets to the other sections. You want to change the note itself, click on the note name, you get a 3-octave piano, and you can start dealing with it. Would you like perhaps to have the notes played in a different rhythm? Okay, change the beat. Maybe place more notes one after the other. It's entirely up to you. Change the ands, make more ands. I don't know, your choice, all right? So guys, really important. We start the school on Monday 26th of October, which is same as half term. Until then, please be safe, everybody, and don't forget to grab the ticket. You've got the link just below here. It is bit.ly/ and it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. 3, 2, 1, there you go. CMMVGOS, which is a complicated way to say conducting musical video game online school. Once again, we have prepared for you 3 different courses. We've got the level 1 school, which is for the beginners. That will happen at 9:30 and 11 o'clock every day of that week for 90 minutes on Zoom. Cameras and mics off, don't forget. Then we'll move to level 2 at 1 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, we're going to have the Micromidi, which is the way to transform a microbit into a digital musical instrument. Feel free to join us on whichever course you like. One little piece of news, guys. If you are from Cheshire East, you're super lucky because the ticket is free for you. So please get in contact with the Love Music Trust, or I think you've already received an email from them. So do check it out. And in the meantime, have a lovely evening. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon. We're gonna prepare another live stream. Please drop all your comments below. It's gonna be lovely to hear from you guys. If you make some response videos or response video games, do post those as well. Have a lovely evening. Stay safe, and see you soon, everybody. Bye bye from me and the whole Conducting Music. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.